are you? Hope you're good. I've posted a short video asking you guys to send me questions so I can answer and we can know each other a little bit better and we can bond. And you guys did deliver. There was a lot of questions that I've seen. I didn't read all of them because I wanted this to be a little bit like a impromptu, as if you're actually asking me the question at the moment, so I can, I don't know, I just thought that would be fun and more realistic. I know this is like me talking through a video to you and you're watching it somewhere on the other side of the world, but you know, I'm trying to get this as natural as it would be talking to you actually. So first of all, thank you so much for actually asking me shit. I think without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the questions from my phone. When and why did you move to the UK? I didn't choose to do my mathematics exam back in Lithuania, so I couldn't go to psychology. When I chose my A and B levels, I didn't know what I wanted, and not that I really knew for certain what I wanted at the end of my high school, like, don't get me wrong, I didn't know shit. And if you don't have the math exam, then you cannot get into psychology back there. So I decided to go abroad, because if I went to university in Scotland, they didn't ask for that. I was never bad at math though, and you really do need it in psychology, because 50%, even maybe more, of the actual degree is statistics, so you clearly need math. But it's just so happened that I couldn't get the exam, but I did apply to the universities there. So that's basically the main reason why I went, because I wanted to study psychology, and I also didn't like the way psychology was approached back in the country I was born in, so it just made sense for me to move somewhere else. If I did stay though, I would have studied publishing. So that's interesting, because I got accepted into publishing course at the capital university, which is the best one. Yeah, so my life would have been probably a lot different, but I would be closer to the books maybe, because obviously I would have studied publishing anyway. But I ended up studying psychology, and when I moved, I have just turned 19. Next question is, would you be my tour guide around Scotland if I ever visited? Boy, you do not want me as a tour guide if you ever do go to Edinburgh, because I would ruin it, because I don't know anything about this and I'm really bad at it. Name your main coping mechanism for panic attacks. I think I mentioned that, and if you wanna watch my full video on like dealing with panic attacks, I will suggest it somewhere here if I do remember. But my main one is probably still just reminding yourself constantly, just having that one sentence during the panic attack in your head, that you survived this before and you survived it so many times, and this is no different, and it's gonna be over. Because it's happened to you before, it's not gonna be anything different. So just knowing that you've gone through it and survived and were fine afterwards always helps me. Any tips on making friends on BookTube? I think my main tip is actually just not put pressure on yourself on making friends on BookTube, or making friends anywhere really, because it's not a process that you can really force. You can try and approach people if you're comfortable with that, but do not force it, because friendship is supposed to be, you know, a mutual thing, and sometimes it's hard to know a person, especially through the internet. You just have to, like, I know it sounds extremely cheesy, but that's my main view on it, that you just sort of have to let it happen naturally. If it does, you can try and start a conversation. If it flows, that's great. If it doesn't, there's other people out there, you know, like, you just can't you can't force it, you know what I mean? But there's so many brilliant people out here, and you're bound to stumble upon someone that you just click with. What do you do for hobbies, pastime outside of anything to do with books? That is a hard question. Anything to do with nature, I used to love, though the weather doesn't really permit it here, go kayaking. I used to love that. I used to dance, so that was a hobby. But at the moment, the only thing that I do that's not related to BookTube really is playing World of Warcraft or some other video games, but it's most likely World of Warcraft or Sims. Do you edit your own videos? Yes I do. I don't have anyone else helping me to do anything with BookTube. I am sort of flattered that you think that the editing could be done by someone else. Maybe it looks better than I thought it does. What are your favorite bookstores in Edinburgh? My favorite bookstores are Amazon, because it's cheaper, especially used books. There's a lot of actually really cozy and nice looking used bookshops in Edinburgh, and there's quite a few really, the small ones. So I like to go and browse those. There's one really close by to where I live, but my favorite ones are probably Oxfam charity shops, because they usually have a really big variety of books, and you can actually find the books that you had in your TBR, which is really useful, I think. If you were to get another cat, what would you call it? If I were to get another cat, I could not get angry at people calling me a cat lady. It always sort of bugs me, because cats are Logan's things. I actually am a massive dog person, so it always bothers me a little bit, but if I had a third cat, that I would call it Get Some Help, because that would be accurate for what we need. What were or still are your favorite cartoon shows? My favorite cartoon show of all time is Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it's just so homey and I used to watch it all the time when I was younger, and then I used to watch it all the time when I was older and it's just my favorite thing. I remember watching the Courageous Dog or whatever it was called. I don't remember because it was because obviously I watched it in another language back then. It was so dark and messed up. It was really disturbing. Now at the moment though, my favorite cartoon, if you can call it that, is Rick and Morty, and it's more of an like adult cartoon though, like kids should not watch that, but it's hilarious. There's always Family Guy and American Dad, those are always goodies. I used to watch Simpsons a lot, but not so much now. If you could travel to only one place and live there, where would you go? I assume this is talking about real world, because if not, then Valeris, but if yes, then I think maybe either Canada or New Zealand. I don't know why those countries were always attracting me, like as if they're a magnet and I'm a piece of metal, but I have no merit of saying this because I haven't visited either, but I just really feel like I would like it there. If you could live in one book as yourself, which book or world would it be? Mine would be Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter would probably be my choice as well, but if I live by myself, am I a muggle? Because if I'm a muggle, then I don't want that, because it's just like now, you know? I mean, I'm a wizard, but if I were there as a muggle, that would suck. Ooh, I would be in Night Circus, because then even as myself, I could go and experience the beauty of the circus, because oh my god, I just wanna be there. That brings us to the next question. Do you have a favorite standalone book? And actually that is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, because that book was just so magical, and I don't really have a lot of standalones that I've read, so that one for sure. If you could have any literary tattoo, what would it be and why? That's a really nice question, I like this. It possibly would be something to do with Harry Potter, maybe the Deathly Hallows symbol, or some little detail that maybe not a lot of people... Ooh, or maybe the goldfish that Lily gave Slughorn. I would like that. I would maybe like something a bit more subtle than the Deathly Hallows that everyone sees and everyone knows, even if they don't like Harry Potter. I would like something subtle maybe, but if not, then obviously something from A Court of Mist and Fury, because I'm trash for that, so... Who do you love more, Zeus or Momo? You bastard! I don't know, I can't tell. They're both like such a special beans, but I think Zeus loves me more than Momo loves me, and Momo loves Logan more than Momo loves me, so that's sort of an answer. And I mean, I just sorted my cats into Hogwarts houses yesterday on Instagram live show, and Zeus did get Gryffindor just like me, so... But I love them both the same, okay? When exactly will you read Annihilation? Soon, I promise. By the end of the summer, I said? Let's make it by the end of September, so I know for sure that I can do this. What book would you say has inspired you the most? I think it has to be Harry Potter, just because I grew up with it. It shaped me more than any other book would or ever will, I think, just because of the time period of development that I read it. So nothing can really compare. Do you like traveling? Yes, I love traveling. I don't get to travel much now because we don't have the money. I know traveling doesn't have to be expensive, so I do look forward to, you know, properly sitting down and budgeting some cheaper travels around here, but it would be nice, you know, I love it. And which countries have you been? I actually been to quite a few countries just because I used to travel with my parents, because my parents are big lovers of skiing during the winter time. Weird thing to add. So I've been to Italy. I actually been to Italy and Venice when it was warm as well. We didn't travel much when it was warm because our family doesn't handle heat very well. I was in Croatia twice, and Croatia is my favorite place on earth, but I wouldn't want to live there. But it's my favorite place for like holidays, and it's such a gorgeous place. So I've been to like Czech Republic and Poland, Estonia, and Russia. Russia I've been once because you have to actually get a visa, and it was a dancing competition I had to go for. Been to Switzerland and I think Belgium, but France as well. But most of these things they literally look the same, and I couldn't distinguish them between themselves because we were in the Alps, and so all you see is tiny skiing villages and the mountains, you know, so it's not like I've actually seen the countries, but I do miss skiing so much. It makes me sad. Have you ever been in Greece? No, I've never been in Greece, but I would love to visit because it seems like such a beautiful country. You have to pick somewhere right now to travel for a week. Where do you go? I would go to Croatia because I know it's stupid. I would love to go to Croatia again, and I would now go and visit all of the Game of Thrones locations because, oh my god, I can't believe. But that's just because that's what pops into my mind. If I had some time to think, I probably would think of something else, you know, just because I have been there before, and it's stupid to waste this opportunity of imaginary free ticket to somewhere. Your favorite Disney princess and why? My favorite Disney... This is like a little less known fact. I only started watching Disney stuff when I was like 20 years old, but my favorite Disney princess is Mulan, just because she's so badass and I love that movie to bits and it's just my favorite. And it was also really funny. What was your school life like? Did you have a nice friendship circle or did you struggle with school? I was actually really lucky enough to have a close... And when I did go home just now, I did meet my best friend who was back from London as well. Sadly, she's the only one really that we kept in touch, but we are still best friends and, you know, it's great. And we were actually speaking about this, like, how were we not bullied? We were like quite weird, and I had dreadlocks at some point, and no one really like had strong negative feelings against us that we known of. Our schools were not really, there was not a lot of bullying going on in our school. I think it was quite like a peaceful, I don't know. But yeah, no, I was lucky enough to not struggle, and I had my close friend group, and it wasn't like a big one. It was like 4 people and sometimes 3 people, but we were just always, we didn't really need it more. That was great. And I loved school because I loved studying, and I just loved... Obviously you were happy as hell when summer holidays began, but I loved school. Also, how many languages do you speak? Well, I was studying French and Russian and English at school, but only one of those really survived in my brain, because if you don't use the language you forget it too then, because I obviously speak Lithuanian and then I speak English. Sometimes I always struggle to speak English, very evidently. Would you recommend... And another question, sorry, don't be sorry, it's a Q&A, that's your job. Would you recommend studying psychology at university? Thank you so much. Thank you for asking all these things. Yes, I would. Although I suppose I should add that if you want a clearer path after university, after you graduate, psychology is not the best of them, because once you graduate psychology, if you actually want to continue with psychology like full on, then that's not enough. That's just the ground. But you have to get a postgraduate degree and doctorate or master's, usually doctorate, if you want to go and be a fully chartered psychologist in any of the psychology fields. But psychology prepares you for so much, and you can, and it opens doors for a lot of opportunities because it's so human based and it's also statistics based. Anything from retail to data analysis you sort of cover, and knowledge of human reactions and just understanding of a lot of processes that go on is extremely good for advertising and media roles. It's just extremely wide, so it does give you like a great background in basically everything, but it's also specific enough that you develop a really critical mind. I struggle now a lot just because I don't know what I want, but you know what you want to do afterwards, and psychology tick the boxes that you need to do it. I would never change what I studied just because I think psychology course just changed my perspective on everything, and it was so enlightening, and it was a great course, and it was hard. It was so hard, but it was really worth it. So long story short, yes. If you could trade places with a character in a book, which would it be and why? This is a hard one because I think I've had this in like a tag or something before, because all of the books seem to have like crappy time. You know, you wouldn't want to go into the Hunger Games. Darker Shade of Magic maybe, but no. I don't want to actually, because it all seems to be crap. Maybe Harry Potter after the last book, and then I would trade places with... I wouldn't want to be a Weasley because I think it would be too sad. Maybe I would just trade places with Hermione because she's Hermione. What phone and laptop do you have? My phone is an iPhone 6 and my laptop is a 2015 MacBook Air, the 13 inches I think. It's on its own, like, last legs though, it's really slow and non-responsive. But yeah, that's what I have. What's your favorite video game to play? That really depends, but I have to give it to World of Warcraft because I play it the most. But if not that, then Sims, because you always come back to Sims. You get sick of it like very quickly, but you always come back, and for like those 2 first days that you come back, you can't stop. But my favorite indie game is Dreamfall by like a long shot. It's such an amazing story, the creators were amazing, and the world building is just outstanding, and it's like reading a book but playing a game. It's not really like a shooter game at all, but you do get like a lot of walking about, and it's amazing. Check it out if you like that. What is the biggest difference you needed to get used to after your move to the UK? If it isn't the weather, because the weather is a little depressing most of the time really, then it would be the food, because it was really easy for me to be healthy in Lithuania. Just the diet here is hard. And the accents though, like I was working at the city council for a brief period of time, and it was like a little bit outside of Edinburgh, and that area I could not understand anything for like first day, and I was so confused. I was like, are they speaking English? Because I understand, like I know I have an accent, but boy, there was nothing compared to theirs. Will you go out with me? If not, how come? Yes, of course I'll go out with you, why not? If you couldn't choose Momo or Apple, who is your most favorite character from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Love your channel, G, thank you. The cabbage guy. The cabbage guy or the Earth Kingdom King? Those two, like, you know, they're just such little beans. I love them. What's your favorite memory of getting a book? Huh, interesting. What is my favorite memory of getting a book? I get books like really bad way of just ordering online because it's cheaper. Ooh, I think it was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I wasn't actually getting, well, I was getting a book because I was just after school and my mom picked my book up because I was still quite young, and she brought it to me, and I remember it was such a magical moment. The whole evening I was just sitting like this, like waiting for the book to come, because I just wanted to grab it, because the fourth one was the one that I waited the longest for, because I read the first, second and third, and then I had to wait for the fourth one to get translated, and when I got it I was just the happiest person on earth, like legitimately, and I just remember that feeling, and I hugged the book, and it was just, oh, it was great. Favorite place to travel and visit? I think I answered this already by my extreme irrational love for Croatia. Well, it's not irrational, it's beautiful there, so Croatia. Do you use Kindle or any e-readers, and do you like them in general? I actually don't. I do have a Kindle app on my phone, but I really rarely use it. I seem to struggle to read on my phone or any PDF files. I just can't get through with it. Basically my job requires me to sit by the computer from 8 AM to 5 PM, so I have plenty of the staring at the computer part, and then I come back and I edit the videos, and I catch up with other people's videos, and I edit photos, and I stare at my phone. So basically all I do is stare at the screen, so I think when it comes to reading I just can't do it. Maybe if my job changes, or I don't know, at some point, but at the moment, no, I don't. Which cat is your favorite? Guys, stop! Which is your favorite type of booktube videos to make? Example, box opening, book reviews, etc. I actually like all of them. I really like doing the Q&As, because I don't know, it's nice to talk about stuff with you guys. I love filming wrap-ups and TBRs, and I obviously love filming unboxings because it's unboxing stuff, like, obviously I love it. I really honestly love it all. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here for the first part, because it's gonna be probably way too long to put in one video. So thank you again for submitting the questions. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon with the part 2. Bye!